An old woman was lying on the roadside. One day, her son, an army officer, returned home on a short leave after many months. When he walked down his street, he stopped in shock. Right there in front of his eyes was his mother, sleeping on the ground beside the road. For a moment, he couldn't believe what he was seeing. He ran toward her and called out softly. The old woman opened her eyes, and when she saw her son standing there in uniform, her tears started to flow. It had been so long since she had seen him. She smiled through her tears, but deep down, her heart was broken. Before they could speak, the son's wife came out of the house. Seeing her, the old mother whispered to her son to hide. She didn't want any trouble. The wife looked at the old woman coldly, without a single word, and went back inside. When she left, the son came out and hugged his mother tightly. She cried in his arms and told him everything, how his wife mistreated her every single day, made her do all the housework, gave her no food, and treated her worse than a servant. The son was speechless. He couldn't believe that the woman who gave him everything was being treated like this in his own home. He calmly told his mother to install a small camera in the house so that he could see everything himself. The next morning, the old woman placed the camera secretly on top of the fridge. Later that day, the wife came home with a friend, laughing and gossiping. They both sat down and ordered the old woman to cook food for them. The poor mother cooked quietly, served them, and sat down beside them. The wife and her friend started making fun of her age, calling her names, laughing as if she were nothing. While this was happening, the son, who was away, was watching everything live on his phone. His hands trembled, his heart broke, but he waited silently. Then the wife's phone rang. It was her husband. She smiled and told him she was having lunch with his mother. When he asked to talk to her, she threatened the old woman with her eyes not to say a word. The mother, out of fear, said nothing. The wife cut the call and laughed with her friend, mocking the poor woman even more. After they left, the old woman broke down. She cried silently, holding her chest. That same evening, her son came home earlier than expected. Seeing his mother in tears, he didn't need an explanation. He had already seen the truth. He gently wiped her tears and told her that from tomorrow her pain would end forever. The next morning, the mother wore clean clothes and waited in the living room. The wife entered the house and looked at her with surprise. A heated argument began. The old woman stood her ground for the first time. Just then, the son walked out of his room. The wife immediately started pretending to cry, lying that the mother always made her work and treated her badly. The mother stood there quietly, her eyes full of pain and disbelief at how easily her daughter-in-law could lie. Without saying a word, the son walked to the shelf, picked up cleaning gloves and a piece of cloth, and threw them at his wife's feet. Told her to clean the floor if she really did all the housework. The wife stood frozen, unable to say anything. The truth was right in front of everyone. The son finally told her to leave the house. No anger, no shouting, just the truth. She cried and begged, but he didn't change his decision. He opened the door and watched as she walked out. Silence filled the home once again. The mother, with tears in her eyes, slowly walked toward her son. He turned around and she hugged him tightly, crying on his shoulder. After so long, she felt loved, respected, and safe again. She knew that her son had finally understood her pain. And as they stood there together, the message was clear. Never let your parents suffer in silence. No matter how successful you become, never forget the ones who gave you everything. If you like this video, don't forget to comment and tell us. Your one comment means a lot.